YouTube. Wonderful Twitch viewers. Yo, what up, what up? Hope you're having a wonderful night. I'm here to yap. We're talking about, well, video content has changed. Video content itself, the game is changing. We got a lot to yap about. So let's just get to it. Okay, look here. I'm normally so well prepared, but this time it's pretty straightforward. It's an easy discussion. I don't know the answer to it, but I do know the problem. So let's just, you know, try not to be too negative as we zero in on our favorite game and go into our video. But anyways, y'all. So I'm gonna go back and forth between patch notes and chilling in the game, but in today's entirely based rant, I am just kind of describe a phenomenon I'm seeing where everything in the game is kind of just completely changed. I used to always say this was an event-based game, but it's entirely an event-based game now. Not sandbox, right? So we'll start off with that first one. It does not feel like a sandbox anymore. They're taking every little sandbox element out of the game. It is what it is. I'm not necessarily mad at it. It's still the best, you know, combat oriented MMO. So it's really fun still. But this is definitely a thing that that's completely changed it. And that is kind of doing a lot. Let's see what else we have. So one thing they've done is every single thing is content now. So there used to be an argument in like BDO that it wasn't like that guy Invulnerable, for example. Shout out to Invulnerable GG. I don't know if we got any mods in chat or even Jimmy, you know. But hey, you made it to the YouTube video, guys. So these guys come. He came from Throne and Liberty, right? And he's saying this game is more pay to win than BDO. And he has some argument now. Because now, guess how many different slots I need to use Cronstones on right now? I need to use Cronstones here, 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 soon here. They're adding this into the game. Because guess what? I don't need Cronstones in this. Are you guys noticing something? I need Cronstones here. We need Cronstones here. I'm gonna do it. I have to. I'm a little autistic. Here. And I actually need the most Cronstones here. Here. So what's funny about that is in updates coming, we're looking for an update to this. And one of the patch notes that we're really happy about is the alchemic stone fix. And guess what? In the alchemic stone fix, you won't blow up your alchemy stone anymore. You just simply have to use, guess what? Just some Cronstones, guys. Now, if you weren't able to buy these with US dollars, that would not be the issue. So anyways, let's get back to it. So I think I made my point. But every single thing is content. That's a little bit of a different game than when the game started, right? And as soon as you get out of honestly, as soon as you got to get out of seasonal and you get a couple of pin black stars, you're ready to slam Sovereign. And gosh, that's expensive off the rip. You know what I mean, guys? I'm just saying, it's a different game. You can definitely pay to win now. When it first came out, I used to think that buying the 6-month value pack was pay to win. I'm gonna sound so stupid in the YouTube video. I used to think buying the 6-month value pack was pay to win because it gave you, I think it was 10 loot scrolls. In retrospect, it's fucking nothing, dude. It's like a couple hours of grinding and extra stuff. Yeah. But nobody else had loot scrolls. That, right? No, I didn't have loot scrolls, so I was jealous. I was like, oh my god, they're paying to win so hard. Dude, in retrospect, paying to win hard is like kind of like probably like I heard Blue did it pretty good. But anyway, so let's Tech W. So let's move on. This is stuff. Hold on, let's look at this stuff. This stuff, hold on, let's look at this. This is actual game content. This is like a sub thing underneath. This is content. So this is game content. And then we'll go into the YouTube content, Twitch content as well. But they're actually like we'll go over them both and talk about them together, and then we'll talk about look at what's changing. So, kind of interesting the way they've decided to go. Now, the Insanity is trying to be a little sorted now with this new direction they're going. They're trying to simplify everything by giving us bigger numbers. I don't know if I feel better or happier with the bigger numbers, but yeah, the gear and everything. Oh yeah, soon, yeah. Oh yeah, soon evasion and DR will all be the same. Why even make me build accuracy? I don't know. Have we thought about this? These things I think about, but but like that's that's probably like a smaller one. I should have probably put that at the end. But like the things they're doing to the game are very different. It definitely almost feels more like a mobile game now than when it started. Instead of getting a set of gear and having different gear, it's like you have one set of gear and it's like, oh shit, that guy's tough. I need another one of these. So what's the best way to describe this in text? Oh. Oh. Oversimplification. Dude. All right. This is like a general. This is so true. Yeah, no, I love these rants. I normally try not to get too emotionally charged because I'll I'll go on these forever. But I had to just speak my mind. New World is pretty simple and the combat is simple fun. I like New World. That's why I'm gonna play Chrono Odyssey when it comes out. It looks like a shittier New World. Heck W. But actually the combat is strangely fun in a choppy way. Anyways, enough of that shitty game. But I can't wait till it comes out. I hope there's hemp I can gather like New World. I sat around gathering New World or anyways forever or hemp forever. Anyways, so the thing hear me out. Like stuff has been simplified so much that it doesn't make sense to players anymore. Back in the day, they and the new players, they get less of a game. So back in the day, if you wanted to be a life skiller and put 1,000 hours into life skilling, not only did you know what the recipe was and have the recipe, right, to do what you needed to do, when you needed more maple syrup, maple sap, I'm sorry, you would go get more maple sap from maple trees, right? And that was a specific ingredient and it had a specific value and you could go find it and that was it. There was all sorts of secret ways to get stuff from nodes or whatever. There's ways to get stuff, right? So they've just simplified, they've simplified everything and it started with the spirit stones in Kama Sylvia because people for some reason couldn't figure out how to buy an alchemy stone that made you press U and recharge. So they decided to come up with spirit stones. I'm not even gonna kid you. I'm not even kidding you. I feel like people were too dumb to use an alchemy stone, so they just started using spirit stones. And that was fine. And then you came out with Vels, and it was like, why would you use anything but a Vels? But I already had a resplendent stone. Vels was technically worse. It was a weird balance. And when they added the buff on the Vels, I was like, whatever. Luckily, I sold my resplendent stone when the marketplace, Central Market first hit, and I just bought a Vels. But anyways, so the new players, it makes a lot less sense. Everything really does. And the best example I can give is the early game. I know I said it twice in a row, but like the early game is very confusing in two areas really. So, cause like you don't get enough skills when you're leveling up on some classes. Like the older classes still don't get enough skills, so you kind of feel clunky and bad, and you have to do the simplified quest line or it sucks. So new players skip out on a lot of stuff this time because it's oversimplified, right? So you miss out on like a free pet and all sorts of stuff that you get the first time you play if you do the simplified quest line. And new players can do it. I don't know why they let new players do it. I don't know why they should have to do the quest line one time. I had to do it. Maybe I'm just a masochist. I don't know. You just redid your whole quest line. Why would you let people fucking skip it? Kind of seems, oh, whatever. But yeah, new players are getting less of a game. And not only that, right out of Tuvala land, it's content, which I'm gonna be honest with you, is coming to my next bullet point. Cronning everything is not nearly as fun. That's just it. A lot of this game has to do with gambling. And I used to be so against blowing up your jewelry, and getting pinned felt bad. Getting pinned, downgrades on your weapon, it was hell. But in a weird way, I appreciated it. And I got it. Okay, well, okay. F for Dons too. I got you, Death Hunter Oath. You made it into the YouTube video. F for Dons too. Just doing the same stuff. This sucks. Both of them suck. Back in my day, sorry about that. That's not my gear. I'll show you my gear. But back in my day, let me tell you a story while I'm doing it. Back in my day, we could grind all day, get like 10 rings, and guess what? If we made a pry, we had a pry. If we made a try, we were the most geared person on the server. We were a champion. See what I mean? Like that feeling is not there anymore. You know what I mean? Like you're gambling, but the stakes, listen to me. We're gambling, but the stakes are not the same. I feel like I'm doing penny slots. I'm getting 1 AP, and I know they're going to give me some monster AP. Great, monster AP, great, monster AP, great. I want a one-shot, people. Ha! Look, listen to me. When I got 10, it gave me 8 fucking AP. 8 AP. It bumped me up 2 brackets. It put me at 265 AP. Immediately. I was bricked up for weeks. Chat was like, you should contact like, you know, somebody medically. That's it, you know. I was like, no, this is normal. Cause listen to me. When you had that much AP back in the no, you had that much AP back. Like dude, I used to grind with choice every day. I bring it up almost every time I talk about the way back then. I was in the Gotham, I think, and that's when I got my pin dandy. And I was like, I basically quit the game for a little while, kind of like I did with Throne of Liberty recently, and I came back just literally because I was raw tapping it and it went pin. And Choice was the first one who messaged me. He was like, "You doing Gyphins tomorrow again, right?" Because before that, before I quit for Bless, I was doing Gyphins for 14 hours a day. So at least 10 hours a day I was grinding with Choice. It was upper Gyphins, 5-man. It was sick. And so he was like, "I gotta see your pin, bro. We gotta see how much trash we get." It was, you know, and it was exciting. You wanted to go grind, see how much trash you got. You wanted to go like everything, and 8 AP was like 2 different AP brackets. So all of a sudden you were like one-shotting a bunch of people. You were huge, and there was a lot at risk because downgrading was everything. Anyways, this is the game loop in general. It's just not as fun. They took from their own game loop greatly here, and that's just and it is what it is. And then it's hard for me to believe in an MMO system that doesn't believe in the flavor of the month. Can't the brother be strong too? But people with tons of comms are tapping and acting like it's not gonna upgrade. So, hey, that's how it is. But like, no, literally, like the new classes seem way too strong, too streamlined. It's true. They are too. Dude, so the oversimplification, which is literally why the new players get less of a game. I don't know if I brought this up, but this is about this point. So back in the day, you noticed if a Sork was good because they swapped from Awakening to Pre-Awakening, and then they one comboed your whole team. You don't do that anymore. You just stay at your Awakening, and you do the same combo all the time. It's never dynamic. It never changes. And you still won't combo the team. Now you can fly really fast. But anyways. So the game has been simplified to keep up with these new classes as well. Remember that. So the whole game simplified to keep up with these new classes that are too strong. Also, I'm a Dosa now. Ethical Dosa. No, it seems like all right, so I don't know if I'm gonna just show how like my true roots and that I'm like a broke ass just at heart, you know. I think I would do this. I think I would do this even if I was a much more successful streamer. Chat, hear me out. If I'd rather save the planet, right on, Nico. You're a fucking legend. That's the sweetest answer you could have given. Mine is greedy. Mine is because I don't want to take away from my own experience. Because I grind for that money, and if I could just get it AFK, then I should really just not play this game, technically. Like, it gives off a very mobile game vibe when you make just as much money or almost as much AFK as you can, like, after a couple hours of grinding. Sorry, I bumped into the mic, I'm pretty smart. And then, like, on top of that, you gotta leave your... Like, am I mining crypto for these people? I mean, I know what I'm really mining. I'm mining login percentage, right? So they can show how many people are logged in at all times and making it look good on their investors. But I guess I want to do all the other life skills too. And if they would have revamped all that stuff properly, I'd be excited about it because it'd be profitable. But currently, it's way better to just grind anything. And way easier, and they just haven't made it really anything really look cooler since they came out with monos. On that same note, I think I'm still gonna make a life skill setup and still do it, but I probably won't do fishing. I'll probably go do hunting and other stuff. Everyone does this. Oh, it's definitely gonna be a video. Don't worry. All right. So, what do we got to look forward to? Well, let's go into the other part of this, and then we're going to look at what we have to look forward to. Almost forgot about this. Well, there's two parts of the content changing. All right, I'm nasal as shit. All right, there's two parts of the content changing thing. So there's game content, and then check it out, boys. Yo, YouTube, Twitch content. This shit has changed huge, big for me, at least as a streamer. How do I do this? Let's do this. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. The stars are good, right? Okay, so at least for a streamer. So running in circles for me, giving quality content usually won't cut it. You kind of have to be a legend. You kind of have to be a fucking legend of a person for me to watch you grind. You got to be you got to be Choice. You got to be Biseptimus. So grinding for me as a Twitch streamer, as Vessel, just would not cut it as YouTube content. And what do I mean by this? I'm not Choice. I'm not a badass dude who's got a really cool room. You know what I mean? Who's so good at his class that he can tag every other new class because he's got all the best gear in the game. And so he can tag whatever new class and just see how good he can grind. And honestly, Choice, the level of charisma, I love that guy. I'll watch that guy do anything. For me, I think I'm funny and I like to have funny content, interact with what I think is best in the game, which would keep me happy. And that's not grinding. The grinding kind of drives me crazy after a few hours, right? I've done it for so long that I feel like I'm going insane. So it's so boring, Armatox. I agree. I'm talking to my Twitch chat. I don't know if you can see that, but I agree, right? It is what it is. And yeah, so you see the Twitch chat there. It's interactive when you're learning a new class. It's interactive because it's the best combat system of the game in the genre. So it's better than killing mobs in other games. But with how much money you need and the itemization, a lot of this has to do with itemization, in my opinion. The slow grind for silver, or like, cause how often do you cheer and have fun anymore? You used to cheer and it would be a significant boost in your income, and you would say, oh my fucking god, I'm so carried, and then that would happen a bunch of times and you would freak out, right? With the way it inflated and everything exists in the game, grinding is just not as grinding is not nearly as awesome as it felt, right? So you're totally right, Nico, about fishing be the way to show up when you and have more money, but I'm on protest, XW. But yeah, so the grinding for me isn't the best content. It doesn't mean for others it's not, but I think in general you'll notice that most of the BDO category will not succeed with just simple grinding. And you know, obviously you have to just, I have to talk to you guys. I gotta talk to Armatogs, I gotta talk to Nico, and I gotta make sure I interact with everybody. But I think the thing about it is grinding isn't as fun an activity as we want it to be, but we have to do it. How many players in my chat are grinding right now? I'm just gonna be 100% real. When you're grinding and you're watching someone else stream, you typically want to see someone else grind. Usually, in my opinion, no, me, thanks, Ota. Hey, buddy. In my opinion, I usually want to see someone doing like the pinnacle of gameplay, the fun stuff. You're grinding silver IRL, you're a fucking legend. I need to figure out how I can do that. I'm working on it. I had 4 job interviews this week. I'm huge, boys. So for me, it's the PvP. Exactly, Royal Ferret. It's always been the PvP. We're gonna get to that. And so I believe in you. Thank you. Thank you, homie. So for me, I'm usually PvPing constantly on my stream. So when you're grinding, here we'll put the asterisk, because you're grinding. Because you're grinding too. That's the deal. I'm trying to get, I thought about it. I got into the brain of my viewer one day and I was like, bro, they're grinding too. They're either grinding IRL, they're at work, right? Listening to me, laughing at the shit I'm saying, or they're running in circles trying to get their infinite pot, depending on where they're at. Maybe they're getting like an artifact piece, and maybe they're doing some mundane task where they have extra time and they're like, let me investigate a Twitch viewer, a Twitch streamer. That's when they hop in and say hi to Vessel. I'm probably not going to be at my A game while I'm running in a circle doing the same thing over and over again for 16 hours. I'm at 9 hours and 18 minutes in. If I was streaming, if I was grinding this whole time right now, I probably wouldn't make any sense right now. I'm just going to be honest. I'd be like, yeah. So anyways, there's some issues, the game, and then the content changed, you know, like my brain would melt, brother. Sister, however else to identify you wonderful viewers. I'm telling you, I cannot I used to grind this game for 14 hours a day. I started streaming thinking I was gonna stream me grinding. I can literally freestyle for like an hour a day, but just freestyle for an hour while I was a day. That would be like my plug to get people to watch Vessel Vision, and then easy grind it out, just play the video game, have fun, PvP a bunch after I'm done grinding and win. That was my goal, right? You know what I mean? And the more I play BDO, the less of this I want to do, the less grinding I actually want to do. As a matter of fact, when I do my subathon, I make you guys, I do a little bit of punishment by like, I actually, that's the only time I grind. The grindathon. Check W. All right. Last time I grinded was the grindathon. Let's put it that way. Anyways, we'll move on. For me, back when I grind for gear to PvP is no point in gains for what? Next circle? Yeah, well now at least they added PvE damage, so that's an interesting twist. So let's look at that. So this is on Twitch and YouTube, by the way. So you don't see that many, like how many videos do you still see watch me grind an hour on this class? YouTube used to be filled with like it was a thing. For years, it was one of the most important topics in YouTube. On BDO anyways, it was like, oh my god, this class, how sick is it? Not as much a thing anymore. Same thing in the Twitch category. I feel like it's not as entertaining. I haven't been impressed by our grind spot. I honestly feel like this is probably because there's a lack of party spots. There's a lot of stuff going into it. Yeah, so that's just for me. There are exceptions still. I would watch the Blue Squadrons, the Biceptimus Prime, the Choices. I'll watch these guys grind any day of the week. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna watch you fucking grind if you're someone else, bro. I'm just being real. I don't even want to watch. I don't want to grind. I don't want to grind. I'm not grinding right now. I'm doing a YouTube video, ranting about the game. Check W. So I feel like, and this is the most important part of the game to these people, to Pearl Abyss, to everybody. Like this is the fundamental game loop. So this is why video content is changing and has changed. So this is the YouTube and Twitch stuff. So remember, let's think about what else has changed. So the storyline are gone. The storyline YouTube videos are gone. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I can't do the arrow. I'm dumb. Oh, here we go. At least we have Iron Man. Okay, this is it. Like Fake Uni tried one with the old school one. I tried to help him. Like it was fun doing the hardcore mode. The storyline videos are basically gone. Let me show you. Let me give you the best. This is the my last favorite. Heck W. Give a little shout out. So what do I mean by these? Well, okay, let's see if she says it. Hold on.
So I'm ending my zero pay to win series.
Oh, she didn't say whatever. Hey YouTube or whatever she always says. So this, yo, Ace Alpha, the queen herself, her last video 8 months ago. Dude, it's been 8 months ago. The last video 8 months ago. Shout out to Ace Alpha. I fought her in ranked this season. She clapped my cheeks. She did great. Dude, I could have been in this video. She always does these videos in AOS where she's clapping everybody. It could have been me, you know, which I don't know. Maybe she'll still do the AOS, you know, but like this was content. This was huge content. Look, she's got a large amount of follows, and this was something everybody had. Levan had his, she had the zero pay to win series, which I was a big fan. I was gonna make a series just like this as well. My YouTube ended up being more ranting about combat and the video game, and I think that's okay. We took a kind of twist. But yeah, let me give you another good example. Does anybody remember Levan, the GGM of Ingenium? He used to have a series on YouTube that everybody loved called A Day in the Life of a Red Player. Mm-hmm. Think about that. Think about how out of touch that one is while I grab some water. I feel bad. All right, I got some water. Also, I got up so fast that I had to run to the bathroom to check that Phil's kidney problem. So we're almost done with this part. So the storyline videos, at least we have. I don't really like Iron Man videos. I'm sorry. I shout out to all my boys who do them. The sick loots. Is Azure one of them? Yeah, all my boys. I'm sorry. I'm sure I'm missing someone. I don't watch them. I watch none of your videos. I'm sorry. It feels weird, but that's the truth. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. So like what else on YouTube? So overall, maybe I'm gonna be real honest with you because I'm a YouTuber. So I'm gonna be extra real. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything for the boys. I always give out hidden tech when the Siege Guilds have it in my YouTube videos. And I'll talk about the raw topics. So this is gonna be, I'm gonna keep it extra real on this point. BDO YouTube videos pay very little. And it is a 10-year-old game. From a content creator's point of view, we're not getting a lot of YouTube or Twitch content because of these two things. I'm just being objective. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. If you made a bunch of YouTube videos, let me give you an example. If I made 5 YouTube videos along with this one, so let's say 6 one. Let's make it easy with 9 videos along with this one. Let me think about it. 9 videos along with this one that all got a couple thousand views. Right? That'd be actually great for BDO. And then it is what it is. On my same YouTube video, on my same YouTube account, I make one Path of Exile 2 video explaining something cool I found in the new league. That Path of Exile 2 video, not only is it going to get a lot more views because it's a bigger audience and it's a newer game, it's going to give me at least 5 times as much money as all 5 of those other videos that I just did. So the incentive for YouTubers is not there as much. I'm not going to call anyone out, but you can see some people visibly stressed when YouTube is their job and they're a BDO player. I hate to see it, but this is the truth. I'm just throwing it out there for my boys. You guys aren't all YouTubers, right, chat? Right, YouTube? We're just watching this shit on our TV or our screen, and it's like, how come I don't have that many that many YouTube videos? Well, we're not all Blue Squadron. I love you, Blue. Your work ethic is unfuckwithable, but like, I can't make a bunch of videos about Black Desert because it's literally not worth my time. I'm sorry. I want to sit around and doing that all day, but I need a job. I gotta do that instead. Oh, I love Blue. So we're working on it. Hey, hopefully he'll react to this one. W. I think I talked about it and he said he was going to. So hopefully he'll react to this one. We'll see. It's all good. But yeah, man, there's not a lot of stuff or people in the category, and it is what it is. I have played for years and I'm only 62 on my main. Most of these videos are stuff I can't comprehend or stuff I haven't unlocked yet. That's kind of the beautiful thing about Nico. It is a lot of stuff to do if you haven't kept up, for sure. Right now though, we're just going into the content and what we're seeing and the shift. And I don't think this is all necessarily bad. This opens up good stuff as well, chat. Let's put this as a thing before we finish up and go. Where change happens, okay, there is opportunity, and then we'll end it on that. But first, there's one more thing. I'm gonna put this right here. Lean toward more rants slash, I would know. I started the whole negative BDO thing. I started the whole rant about BDO thing. I'm the original doomer, chat. Heck, W. That's why my audience is here. They love to see me doom. Shout out to my boys, my subscribers, everyone hanging out on YouTube and Twitch right now. We love you. You know you love it when I doom. You know you love it. But anyways, so I've been here for 10 years. At this point, it's my fault. So YouTube videos lean more towards rants. They lean more towards rants and quick, informative stuff and reacts are gold. So what do I mean by this? Like, you want to watch your guides. You obviously need your guides. You need to learn how to do stuff like Nico said. I love that there's a bunch of stuff I've never done because there's an infinite compared to other games. He just said that in chat. Beautiful. Perfect example, Nico. You need to look that guide up for that one thing that you don't know how to do that nobody else has done in 3 years. Oh my God. How can you help me? No, brother. I haven't done that shit in 5 years. You're on your own. Look up the Chris Pauly quest. That's what everyone said. Shout out to Chris Pauly. Huge YouTuber. We're talking about YouTube. Shout out to Chris Pauly. You know what I'm saying? Go. That's what everyone says, right? Yo, go watch the fucking Chris Pauly video, you fucking lazy fuck. It's true. And what do? You put it on mute? Chat, I'm too real. This is why I gotta finish this part before I pop off. But what do you do with the Chris Pauly video? We love you, Chris Pauly, but you've been speaking English for years and you haven't gotten any better at it. You put it on mute and you read the words. So yeah. So most of your content leans towards rants, quick, informative stuff. My guide, for example, if I did guides on every class, it would probably be huge, but I'm a perfectionist. So I think I'm going to do like for dummies guides, because I think people want more vessel guides, and I do 5-10 minute guides on classes. And I think I'm just going to give you like these general guides. And if you want like an expert, point you in their direction, I think. And let me know in the comments or in Twitch chat if you think that's a good idea. That's what I've been working on. I was just going to call them guides for dummies, where like, if you just, let's say you tag the class today and you're like, how do I kill someone in RBF? And go, how do I grind? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Okay. Now reacts are gold. And I want to just do a shout out to my boy Gold Steinberg as well. He says he's been on his YouTube hustle. And this is going to go into my next thing that ends this part of the document here. The alleged document, right? The alleged document. Okay, I'm done. Next thing you know, we're gonna have a fucking Google Doc. Anyways, it's always the Google Doc. Yeah, so listen. Where change happens, there's opportunity, brothers. Just because you can't sit here and do your fucking free-to-play series, shout out to Ace, my bad, I'm throwing you under the bus. Just because you can't sit here and do your free-to-play series because nobody gives a fuck anymore. Because they're swiping their card. Like, dude, nobody, look, man, look. You hear that noise? Cha-ching, you hear that noise? Like, everybody's like, man, you only bought the times 20, bro? You need the times 50, bro. Dude, look at this shit, bro. Like, this is what they're doing, bro. I have what? I have 65 pearls. Yeah. So, like, that's what got so much change. Make it true. Look, listen. The game changes, the content is changing, and that's okay. Where change happens, there is still opportunity. So I'd like to see more content. I like that Gold Steinberg is making YouTube videos now. He's getting in there. He's showing his like angles from PvP and like quick informative shorts and stuff about like Warrior. Amazing. Amazing. Because you know why? Because he hits this stuff. He hits the content like where it needs to be, but he's hitting a niche. Like people aren't doing like quick shorts on like how to like rotate a super armor. You know what I mean? People need to learn this stuff, and it's very important. Sales are rare. Oh my god, I wouldn't even know. I don't buy pearls. Even though I am an official content creator, tune into me at twitch.tv/vessel_vision. If you made it this far, please like, follow the video, subscribe, whatever. Where's okay? Shut up, Twitch. I know you're laughing at me. Oh, 134 beautiful sons of bitches. All right. So on this note, we're gonna go into some new changes. But this is really, really important to me as a content creator. It's why I'm trying to get my life together, but I want to refocus my chi. I think a lot of us need to refocus our chi. We need to step our game up. And I'll just do a little star on here for what we all need to do. Like let's okay, there hasn't even been any new videos for Blue or anybody to really react to, because it's basically dead in the content in this space right now. So like we got your Biceptimus video, you got your Kendia video, you got your Chris Polly video, you got we need Shaky Bay back. Exactly, bro. You know who, dude, we need Neptunes. Get the Neptunes. Get on YouTube and start beefing with somebody right now. Get on YouTube and call somebody shit right now. You know what I'm saying? I need this in my life, chat. I don't understand where this is. I need people to just go beat someone up, call them garbage, shit on them with a meta class where you one-shot them, and then start some drama and stir the pot a little bit and be like, are you not entertained? That's what I need in my, just, so let's give Blue and others, like all the boys in chat, let's give them some content. I know there's people out there with ideas. I know there's people out there with other ideas, thinking outside the box. Do something different, because this, like, no one cares about grinding an hour anymore. And I'm sorry if this offends anyone that's out there hustling. There's a, like, if you're out there getting thousands of hours, thousands of views on your grinding hour like montage, I'm not talking about you. My favorite videos right now lately are Yeet's enhancement sessions, which I didn't really bring up, but those mean very little. Little ending enhancement sessions mean very little, because deck means very little to me. When they added everything past pin, it just made the game just diluted and shitty. The extra AP means very little to me. When they hit like a Nav or a deck, I get like a whiff of excitement, but it's not me, so I'm actually half bitter too, you know? Unless it's my boy, I don't care at all. I'll be honest. I hit decks. Congrats. You're just one more person that's gonna hit me harder now. Fuck me. Alright, thank you. Congratulations. Are you in my guild? No? Alright. Alright. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just it. And so maybe they'll fix that. So yeah, very few people, not few, very little about the that stuff is exciting. So what are we gonna get to at the very end here, real quick as we wrap it up? Well, it's pretty easy. Promises made, promises kept. We're gonna sneak in a bullshit version of the PvP patch notes. We have PvP changes. Let's do this. We'll do this. Oh, wait. It's supposed to be shift 8. I'm smart. PvP changes. Here we go. I'm pretty good at this. Okay. Yeah, I'm really good at this. Holy shit. Look at my graphics, dude. Bro, look at this. Look at this. Aren't I good at this, Yoro? Let's look at the PvP changes. Let's look. But first, I have a question. Never mind. I'm too stupid to figure out how to search for something right now. Fuck, I'm pretty high. But yeah, I have a question. What was the date? Yoro, am I lying when I say it's been a year since they announced the shit that they're actually gonna finally do 6 days from now? That it's 5:30 in the morning on this wonderful Sunday? Yes. So this will probably come out Monday-ish. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. Who knows if it'll come out today? I'll try to come out today. It might come out Sunday. So yeah, I'll do my best. Yo, it's been a year. And so somebody has to say some shit about all the fucking bullshit that's going on, because we can't just take a little bit of crumb and act like everything's okay. Okay, so I gotta mention it. That you can't let the Koreans drive the train. It's a Korean game, so that's it is what it is. They conveniently forgot a bunch of stuff that they said they were gonna do with the ball. Anybody notice that? I bet Yoro noticed. My boy Yoro's a noticer. Any fellow noticers in chat? Get a W for yourself if you noticed. Let's say, give you a good example. The guild rankings that were gonna help with Node Wars. 2-hour Node Wars are still not here. They're not announced. There's not a fart whisper in the wind of fucking anything happening with 2-hour Node Wars. Oh my god, I can go on and on. They're just now doing resist, ignoring resist, and what else are they doing? A bunch of shitty combat changes no one asked for. God, no. Something. Oh, the class modifiers. They're just now doing resist in the class modifiers. They said they were going to change RBF and make it, and I quote, a better matchmaking system, closer aligned to like Arena of Solaire. I'm dying right now. All they fucking did was add a timer that I hate. By the way, everybody hates the timer. Okay. They put it to the map. Everybody hates. And then the timer is AOS like, right? But you still get one shot by gear. The same problem exists. You don't get very much money. They implied you were gonna get enough money to pay for your consumables. They think I'm popping like one giant and it's lasting the whole round. If you have to pop giants every time you die, you don't even get the fucking money from a win. You'll hit, what? Giants are so expensive right now. If just popping giants, I think I make a solid 6 million silver off of it. I'm not, I die a lot. I'm just saying I die a lot. Okay, I'm throwing myself under the bus. So that's what I'm saying. Like they said they were you were gonna be, and then they didn't do that, and then they implied, right, in that whole system. So when you play AOS, what do you get? Let's be real, boys. Someone's got to say this shit. No one throws a PA under the bus, and that's why I hate PA. You know I'm your favorite content creator. I hope you keep loving me, because I can't afford value packs. Anyways, okay. So every once in a while I throw them under the bus. It is what it is. They love me for it. Trust me. They watch my video for input. So yeah, all your comments, chat, YouTube, they actually read them. So don't make me mute you if you're an asshole. So okay. What I was getting at is, let me show you what I was gonna do here. AOS has a history of all the games that have played. Node War, like Guild League, has a history of all the games that have played, right? Like if you go all the way back, find a Ventus game, you might be like, oh, I won one of those Ventus games. Surely Vessel was there. I can keep going back and looking. Oh, surely I was there. Please be in one. It's the fucking YouTube video, Vessel. I know you. Aha! See what I'm, look. I was okay, cool. Now, it's there in AOS, it's there in Guild League, and they said they're making RBF like AOS. Why can I not see the information that exists in your game? Look, listen to me, Perlibus, that chat. I think they missed the mark. It would have been okay to make us wait if they provided this information, so we can learn from it. Am I correct? And at the stage that the gear is in the game, the gear is so out of line. Gear is so bad. I used to think that like uncapped was my favorite kind of PvP until very recently. And I finally have changed, boys. Of course, I've been hard capped for years, and now I'm not. So I see the light. I'm not a gearlet, because I can kill hard cap people, kick W because I play Dosa, but I'm 770 something, right? But like, yeah. Also, did you guys know, was it $4? No, they made $396 last quarter. Nice. It's always good when the game you play makes $396 for a whole quarter. Anyways. But yeah, so at this point, I think there needs to be a capped RBF. So I don't feel like, and then it needs to be profitable as fuck. And there needs to be, hear me out, chat, uncapped objective PvP that you can queue up for as well. A battlegrounds like scenario. The best example I can give you would be, oh my god, where's War of the Roses? Oh, that's right. You can look at the stats on this too. Why can't we all just queue up for War of the Roses? Why is this not something we can just queue up for whenever we want? The fact that I have to wait every 2 weeks for this? Whoever came up with that idea hates PvP, probably has a tiny PP. Anyways, we're moving on. Okay, that was uncalled for. It's a micro penis. Okay, I'm stop it, Vessel. Stop it. That's why I get in trouble. All right. No, literally though. Why can't we all just do this? and have fun together with uncapped PvP. Capped RBF, fix this shit. Fix this shit. Fix this shit. Do what you say you're gonna do. They conveniently forgot a bunch of stuff. No 2-hour node wars. No. What about guild ranking for the node wars? So T1 enjoyers could not fight against digital and iconic and the boys at the top with their dicks out. If you're a top 10 guild, you weren't supposed to even be able to node war because they were going to do this wonderful ranking system that everybody knew was too convoluted. It was the biggest line of bullshit that they've ever given us. Props to them for lying to our faces. I love you guys for trying that. That's the big dick perlibus that I know. Fuck yes. Throw out a bunch of spitball lies and see which one of them you can make fruition. Anyone else waiting for savior? W? Like literally, bro. Some ranking system with guilds, like, dude, there was no way they were gonna be able to do that in a meaningful way that wasn't gonna be immediately just taken advantage of. Let me give you, I have one word to say, and it's not even a word, it's a guild name. Snake, but with HP. Every time they try to fuck with the system and made some stupid like rules, like back then you couldn't streak this, you couldn't streak the castle too many times because your guild would slowly lose some of the 10,000 HP. That's why they originally added the 10,000 HP. Did y'all know that? But you know what Snake did? They just came up with a second guild. So after they streaked a couple times, they would go take it from themselves. Snake would beat Snake with HP. With Snake with HP's HP got too low. Vice versa, when Snake's HP got too low, Snake with HP would show up randomly. So there's no way for them to come up with these ranks. If PvP is gonna happen one way or another, they need to just make the T1s more incentivized for fun stuff, and also give like less money and rewards to where they don't incentivize in-game players. Make the normal node wars give out like a couple billion. Some of make all the node wars that aren't uncapped give out the stuff for the Voltarion. Who gives a fuck about a fucking lightning horse? I do wonder what color it pees, but it's okay. I'll figure it out when I get it. I'm halfway there. But okay, that was a weird joke. I don't know. This stuff just comes out of my brain, chat. But that's what I'm saying. Give out some of the basic stuff. Incentivize everything better. They haven't done any of the node war changes. They're acting like PvP isn't even there. But they added so much. Well, where is it? They added so much content, which is literally like this one and this one, that I feel like instead of PvP, I'm supposed to run around like a mindless drone, getting as much money as possible to buy other people's costumes so they can, once again, feels weird, but so they can advance the game faster because they probably have a better job than me. Maybe that's it. Maybe I feel emasculated by the whole process. Wow, they just came to like a fucking, okay, you know what I mean? Like some guys out there like, oh no, like I have to grind, and this guy's just, you know, got a better job. That's just how it feels now. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. And you can't blame me for that. I had way better gear than Blue Squadron. Look, okay, I had way better gear than Blue Squadron, and I put in a lot of work catching up a little bit in the game, and I was grinding a little bit, and I love Blue Squadron. On his birthday, he dropped an unimaginable amount of money. I think he said it was like $5,400 worth of stuff from like gamble boxes, right? And he went from someone I would literally consider a gearlet to now able to just one skill me in whatever class he plays ever again in one day on his birthday. So Ugh. Yeah. They need to focus on fixing the game more, which they are trying. We're gonna get into that, but first of all, they need to just do what they say you're gonna do and don't forget anything. That has to be said before I go into this. So, like, Guild League was a joke. There was no events for Guild League. The one event for RBF was a joke because it ended in a week. Like, these events are whack too. Really, if it's an event-based game, they need to get their event game on point too. It's very clear all your devs are working on Crimson Desert. Please send some back. Please send like 5 back. You need 5 more. Just give out free shit. Doing a tourney, no, I'll be honest, that is a waste of time. Because those tourney takes massive amounts of effort, and they should literally take that same amount of effort to get like a massive amount of feedback from the actual PvP base and use that to guide what they do with the game, probably. Instead, they're gonna let one guy win and ask him what to do and then not listen to what he says. The tourney looks cool. I'm gonna go. I was at the last one. That's how I know they're not gonna listen to what any of the winners say. I was at the last one. Heck W. All right, so let's get into what's so goddamn fun. You want to see something cool? You want to see my golden star prize that I still keep? It's pretty impressive. I don't want to go into details, but it was so long ago, and I got my pin ogre ring the night before the competition, and I died and I lost my 2 adamantines, and the guy did an unprotected combo, and back then you could have 100% res. He did like an unprotected combo that I could 100% res if I had the right crystals. But the night before I died and lost them both because I grinded up and got a pin ogre ring, and I needed to re-grind up enough money to buy one of the pin noobers on the market. And I died because Elvia Orcs had just came out, and I was so geared that I didn't know you had to get the lights. I didn't know, man. I was just running around killing shit, and I was killing shit way faster than everyone else. And I'm just being real, I was tired, and one of them things like one-shot me, and I was like, oh. And you used to keep your crystals in your boots. I can't show you that anymore, but then I lost my two adamantine RBFs. You didn't have my fucking knockdown float resistance 100% anymore. I literally immediately lost to him doing the slide. What a game. So I'm telling you right now, it'll be fun, but will the amount of effort they're putting into it or anything save the game? Now, this is stuff they need to do. Combat system overhaul. Now, I have a question. So, and this is like I'm posing this as I'm talking about this, right? We were talking about the content changing. This is the game actively changing. That's why we're putting this in this video as well. So if the game is changing, what did everybody expect from this? They told us they were putting off the class balancing. I already know, like, dude, the thumb, like the, you know how when you click on a save moment to go to the YouTube? Hi, YouTube. Drop a comment if you made it this far. This is gonna be funny. But the save moment for this part is gonna be... Are they retarded? Okay, but anyways, so they told us that we're gonna do class balancing and fix the, because this is the most imbalanced game I've ever played. Strikers take 0 damage. They can grab you while holding their dick, running across the like they have 30. They just, oh, it is free. If you think these classes are trying, I sincerely recommend you go play one of these meta classes. I have two options right now. I have my Guardian, where I can press a bunch of buttons on a class that's really slow and then get one shot by a better class like the one I'm have tagged, and try really hard and hope to maybe get something good. Or I can play my Dosa right now, and the second I hit somebody with two skills, well, they blow up like they got hit from a solar flare from the actual sun. And also, if I don't want to use two skills and I hit somebody on the side, the back, or even the front, because it's a fucking CC, it does 99% of their health, I can just kill somebody with one skill with a 10% fireball on Dosa. So why would I play anything imbalanced with anything weak when the game is this imbalanced? Let me give a good example that my boy Yoro is gonna like be. Why would I bring an archer into Arena of Solaire? Hey, I'm just saying, that's just crazy, dude. So why would you play these classes? It's such a discrepancy, such a difference. This game is not fair. And so they said they're gonna do class balancing. And I was saying that the class balancing needs to happen still, but they do need to fix the game. So I'm not totally disagreeing with what's happening. I do believe they're trying to fix the game with this, but let's focus on what they're saying, because you got to pay attention to what the fuck people say they're doing, because this isn't what they're saying. This is what they say they're doing. What they said they were going to do and what they say they're doing are now different things. They said they were going to give us the balance. We've waited a year for balance. Turns out they're just giving us a combat system overhaul. But what does that mean? So they focused on areas they identified as problematic, which really makes, I wish, chat, I would, Yoro, wouldn't you love to see this list of areas? All right. But since various mechanics in the combat system interact with one another, we made adjustments across the board. I could say one thing that they definitely focused on. They wanted to change like the hits from accuracy evasion a little bit, because they fucked that up with the hits patch. They're literally geniuses. Bless these people. And then I wonder if they know what they're doing in general. Or no, never mind. Okay, sorry, that was my ADD kicking in. Sorry about that. So anyways, so they made adjustments across the board. They've gotten rid of resistance, and they've also they've changed a lot of the buffs oriented with that. We'll go over that. And looks like they've done some sync, but I want to get to this because they said class balance, right? Now look at this bullshit statement that pissed me off. This half of why this made it into the new state of the game, like this video made it into the content has changed, is because the game is fundamentally changed. It's not what we're used to. You can swipe and win. Back in the day, listen to me. When I got pinned, I raw tapped it a bunch of times, and yeah, I was depressed in real life, but I hit that motherfucker. I was sad, yeah, but I got it, okay? And you know what I found out? That there was another guy who paid to win. And I found out how much he had to pay to win to get it. And we calculated it in Discord. It was close to $60,000. The amount that it used to cost to pay to win in this game was insane. There was no, listen, there was no pity system. The regret he must have had, Chad, he spent $56,000 on a pinned dandelion. Honestly, if he had that much money, I don't think he regretted it at all, Ferret. I had a pinned dandelion at that same time, and I one-shot everybody I wanted with an Awakened Witch, and Awakened Witch was weak as fuck. Even Strikers and Mystics and shit, just one-shot him. I don't think he regretted anything. That guy, if he had $57,000, oh, now, yeah. At the time, though, he thought he was a Chad. At the time, he thought he was the coolest. Now, that's the deal. Now it's like 5, you know? You see what I'm saying? You see the difference? That's how things have changed. So just to give you an idea, as a player who's played since back at the time, that is actually a 10x difference in hard capping your character with pay to win. Think about that. They made it much easier to the common bro. But that aside, more ADD, I apologize. Our aim was to refine the very structure of combat, and they're doing what I said they should have done, but not what they said they were gonna do. Just very fucking make up your mind, Perlibis. Love you. Polishing its foundation. Take away movement speed and attack speed on dashing and other skills so the game no longer hits stutters and you will fix the game. Just saying, there'll be less bullshit CCs if you don't have movement speed on skills. It shouldn't be on every skill. That fucked the game up bad. It made strikers fly. And it added more hit stutters and hit acceleration and stuff like that. Anyways, done bitching. So they polishing its foundation, and then this is what we don't want to see, because they're supposed to be changing it class balance. I'm fine with the Sages one-shotting everybody. When does Guardian get the one-shot everybody? You know what I mean? Give me a couple months, boys, and throw me back under the bus. I'm fine with it. Just rotate this motherfucker. You feel me? You feel me, boys? Let me fly around and one-shot everybody or something. I thought these guys were slow. I don't know. He can Phoenix 18 times in a row now. And then he just one-shots you. Holy shit. Let me do it, boys. Fuck it. It would be sick. Anyways, so at this point, they're trying to keep each class's performance as close as possible to what you're used to. This sounds bad. I'm used to bad. You just said you were gonna fix the game. But I'm used to being one shot by hashes, and you're gonna see as we go down through the rest of this patch why I'm still gonna get one shot by hashes. That's not gonna fucking change. So you're right. My class performance on everything I play is gonna be exactly what I'm used to. But what happened to the rebalancing that we've literally waited a year for? Some classes are out of line, and I'm sorry, I played Warhammer Online, notably the most imbalanced MMORPG of all time. Many articles said it, and I thought about it, and for a while that was true. And then I played this game. Anyways, so it's crazy. That said, because so many elements have changed and we notice things feel different, keeping your feedback. Let's get into the changes though. But this statement I felt was worth talking about, maybe blabbing about, and this brought it, like I said, it brought these patch notes, the PvP patch notes, in with unison with this whole thing, because well, is this even what they said we'd get? Is PvP gonna be okay? Hey buddy, good to hear from you. Unfortunately, my YouTube video right now, but we're almost done. Give me a few minutes, okay? Sorry buddy, holy shit, please don't shit in my apartment. I gotta finish. The timer has been started. Okay, so they've done a couple things that established everything, and we'd love Doggo though, so we're gonna take him out in just a moment, boys. There's not much to go over other than the bullshit they've done. I could bitch about Guardian, everything forever, but let's just look at what they've done. So the differences in base stats, each class will be reduced, and they do mean the differences. They want classes to all have the same AP and the same AP buffs, right? And the same DP buffs and the same special attack damage buffs. It's very interesting because All I did for Guardian was remove my special attack damage buff. And then my passive, my special attack damage passive. So I got no increasing at all. So yay! You'll notice, by the way, as you look at these changes, we'll go into most of them. I'm not going to look at each and every one and go into in depth, but we will go through most of them. That they are not uniform across the board. So I sincerely recommend you check them out. We'll put the link in the description. Probably no, I won't. I'm lazy. Go to Black Desert Foundry, Global Lab. Look it up. Heck W. Like it, dude. So we'll go over it as we glaze through all the classes, but like I said, I'm not going to go in depth in each class. You'll see what I'm saying. They got rid of resistance and ignore resistance, and I was worried because last time they did a bunch of changes that basically made it shit. The grab, the cooldown on the grab, which is my cool, not the cooldown, the timer before the grab, the 0.3 seconds. If you have a long range grab, it's gonna have 0.8 seconds. A wind up, if you will, of super armor, which for Guardian is might be a buff and attack speed. Keck W, you might grab faster now. But like for other classes, it's gonna be horrendous in that you have a little delay now. Like a gauntlet can't just instantly get the free grab. But it's everyone else, you'll get an indicator that you're being grabbed. It's kind of nice. I mean, it's not a bad idea. My only problem is, we'll go into it. Here we go. My only problem, see that the indicator seems nice. The little bit of lay like before the grab goes off, that's nice. And it's super armor. They're all super armor now when they go off. See, melee range grabs adjusted 0.3 seconds to prepare the action. So yeah, range is 0.3 as well, which is kind of crazy. That's way too fast, I still think, for range, but hey, it is what it is. They took off the 0.8. Oh, dash and then grab. So that's the thing. Dash into a grab is gonna take 0.7. That's what it is. It was 0.8, now it's 0.7. So if you dash, even if it's a 0.1 second dash, if you dash into grab, it's gonna take almost a whole second to grab somebody. And for Guardian, this is actually this was the only way to grab. Now I think honestly the play is just to walk up and hit E. And the reason I'm telling you this is, I like they're taking away the game, like the seriousness of the game. I'm just bringing it up. You're no longer gonna dash grab. You're actually just gonna pull your shield out, walk up, and then hit E. You know why? Because you can no longer rotate, so no dash grabbing, because you can't rotate after a dash before anything anymore. But where is it? There it is. When the grab fails, all characters, pay attention to the words matter. All characters will receive super armor and can perform other actions. This is a lingering super armor, boys. You will not be CC'd if you miss your grab anymore. The only way you have ever CC'd me on my Guardian, if you didn't hit me through a forward guard when I was fucking, I'm just bad at the game, was because you knocked me out of my grab. So they're getting rid of this because you're gonna have a super armor for 0.4, almost half a second after you fail. So I don't know how I feel about this. This is kind of rewarding what I would call, forgive my language, no, never mind. It's exactly, or appreciate it, chat. The retard grab, where you don't think, you just run up at E. Now you're not punished by it at all. And I mean, you win. It's called a win button. Any win button, chat? Emotes in chat? Like, yeah, I got some. It's called a win button. And now there's no downside. It just, yeah, it just has a tell. So yeah, who knows? That is annoying, isn't it? That sheet. I think it's gonna be crazy. Imagine playing a non-gun. Yeah, I know. I think it's gonna be crazy. So that's gonna be very interesting. A change to the game. The summon damage, I'm gonna be honest, Blue said it best. Big fan of Blue's content. When I first watched this on my TV, they said they fixed summoning damage like fucking 10 times now. It's literally. I'm gonna try Awaken Corsair after the patch, but I believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it, chat. I'm telling you. You know? On that same note, remove accuracy rate and evasion rate. So I think that the game has fundamentally been broken. I think that they figured out that the Guardian and the other accuracy buff skills have just basically been broken. They looked into it, and then that's why they gave everybody the % accuracy, and then they looked into it more. It turns out a lot of the accuracy on a lot of the skills are probably just inherently broken because of the way the stupid spaghetti code works. Yeah, I'm talking real fast, but it is what it is. But the stupid spaghetti code doesn't work, and the reason I don't think that this shit's actually working is because I put the accuracy on certain classes with the same modifiers, and it literally mean nothing. And then you do something like Ranger. Yeah, I said it. I know it's a forbidden word in some places. You play Ranger, and all of a sudden, you put your 3 accuracy crystals on, and that guy you couldn't hit earlier at all is now 1 skilled. And you're like, what the fuck is what's the fundamental difference in Rangers? Like hidden math, obviously. Some more hidden stuff, great. So with the stupid extra modifiers, they're gonna add it to passives here, the infinite mastery passive, and they're gonna remove and equalize all the buffs. This is where I go through all your classes really fast. Chat, YouTube, Twitch, if I go through your class too fast, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna try to do this part really fast. Just point out the things that I think stand out to me. If you see any of all the AP increases that I bring up, just want to point out that that is just to make all the classes have equally the same AP. It's an interesting concept that they decided to randomly go with. But just know that that doesn't affect the rest of the balancing. The other stuff, the crit damage and then the resist buffs, they are being adjusted by a raw percentile of damage that we'll also go over in said case. Okay, so now that we've talked about what's about to happen, you know what's happening. So increase all resistances on Succession Warrior has now been turned to 1500 HP. That feels kind of cracked, I'm not gonna lie to you. And then it looks like it's 500 AP here. AP is giving them 28. All their skills gonna be moved up 4%. I thought they had a good heal. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is a good heal they can use over and over again. So, or it's their E-buff. It's one of the two. I think it's their E-buff. Either way, it's still a good heal. Well, no, Executioner. No, this is their E-buff. Yeah. So you'll notice something here. This is some of these classes are gonna hit really fucking hard now. And god damn it, the Warrior's got a 45 AP buff now. So with my 30 AP buff, they'll just always have a house buff's worth of AP on me. That's kind of weird, but whatever. Great sword training, they're getting some extra passive AP. Merciless, they lost their critical damage, and then great sword defense's AP has changed. That's basically all they're doing on Warrior. Interesting enough, I don't see a % damage up on Warrior. So I think they actually just gave it the big 45 AP instead of a % damage, which is kind of crazy. So Ranger, you'll notice Spirit Healing actually has a 20 AP buff on it, which I feel like the Rangers should hit harder. They're gonna lose 5 on their DP debuff, which will adjust the DPS just a little bit. And then this is, shout out to all my Rangers, this is annoying. I was playing. They nerfed how long your accuracy buff works. They are gonna nerf it still by 4, but you will get a 30-second buff from it, which I think it has a long 30-something second cooldown, so at least it lasting a long time is a W there. So Rangers looking W. Awaken kind of looks kind of meh, but hey, whatever. All they really had was the debuff. Pretty funny. What is this? Succession Sork. 45 AP buff on Suck Sork. I'm sorry? Hello? Okay. And then they added a 5 AP buff, 5 magic AP buff, which these should stack. So that's 50 AP they're just getting. This is 50 AP, by the way. And then they lost a 2.5% increase in critical damage. I'll take 50 AP instead of the 2.5% critical damage. I'm willing to bet 50 AP is better. Stuck Sork is gonna slap. Same thing for Awakening Sork. Hooray. 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 Awakening Sork now has a 45 attack power buff on their E-buff. What a game. Black Desert Online. Melee AP. Berserker. And 4.4% in general. These other places, these other classes are kind of going up. Berserker's going down. I just noticed that. Reduce. Oh. Huh. That's crazy, huh? Okay. Berserkers have just done too much damage, I guess. So, yep, 30 also, but look, 35 AP buff on Titan Syndrome. You're going to feel this a lot. You are going to feel this a lot. Plus the buff on blasting. Actually going to be equalized with everybody else. Tamer damage of the class has been reduced by 2 point. Like, that's all they're saying about Tamer. First thing is they're like, we reduced the damage as we gave it more AP. Oh, okay. It's like, why give it more AP if you're reducing the damage? This all feels, what is the word? Extra. A little crazy. Yeah. My dog left me, feels bad. It is what it is. As we go into Awakening, more of the same, more of the same. You'll notice this ignore buff became an all AP buff plus 5. Sounds good. Sounds good. Whatever. Since this is all AP, it doesn't really matter because buffs aren't going to stack. Like a 5 AP and a 30 AP buff don't stack. They aren't going to stack. So in the grand scheme of things, who gives a shit? Right? Unless it's a passive. It looks like it might be a passive in retrospect. They can better balance. Load day? Huh. I don't know what that means. Oh, later. I see what you're saying. Well, I'm just saying it just seems extra work, and maybe like they're doing a bunch of bullshit to look like they're doing stuff. Wow, that came out really blunt, but hey, it just seems like that's what it seems like. Like they didn't need to change all this stuff in general. They needed to fix what's wrong with the game. So unless there's something I don't know, like this is good. Yeah, I get stuff like this and getting rid of resistance and all that, but like, why do I have a super armor when I miss a grab? Ha! I'm just being real. Who the fuck asked for? Who the fuck said people need super armor when they miss a grab? What? They're giving out. Anyways, okay, I'm done. Let's keep going. I told you I wouldn't get emotional and pop off at the beginning of this video, and I'm not going to. I got baited. Nice try, chat. Nice try. I'm doing the YouTube video though. We can't. No crashing out. So anyways, AP, whatever. More AP for Maywa. And of course, it's going to be less AP for Awakening, because I feel like they just hate Awakening. Wow. They actually just don't hate. They hate Awakening Maywa. Awakening Maywa was done. They're getting rid of the. This is 100% resistance for PvE. Which by the way, they said that there's like PvE resistance and PvP resistance, but both worked in PvE. Thank God that was there. I'm sure that makes the game run extra good. Anyways, I'm sure half the time when I'm PvP'd or CC'd in my super armor, it's just probably checking the wrong resistance. Wow, I didn't even think about that. So, you know, whatever. Nothing special here. Looks like a heal, a max health buff here, I'm sorry. Because that's their passive. 50 DR on Noble Spirit. That's kind of huge. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I want to point something out. Most of these situations, they're trying to take away certain things and give you back something similar. And it ends up being just a big nerf to certain classes. I'm sorry. Just like Haste is saying. Let me give you an example. One of these classes that already beats me, like Striker or Sork, for example, they now have a 45 AP buff. And these 45 AP buffs are really important now, chat. What are we at? Wizard? I'm going back to Wizard. I'm just gonna sneak ahead and mention this. We'll go over at the end. Buffs are gonna work in cap PvP now. We'll get to that at the end. Big change. I actually support that. I think if you buff your character, it should work. So these buffs are going to be way more massive than you think, chat. Way more massive. Node wars are going to be affected by all this by a lot because of all the e-buffs. Yes, hey, so I'll get into it when we're I'm trying to cruise through all this as fast as possible now. But I'll show up for just a second. Yeah, here. In order to allow each class to showcase its unique characteristics. I can't bait you that hard. Buff effects will be applied through skills, passives, and add-ons have been applied without being included in stat cap limit. So the extra 30 AP you get for a class, plus your class skill, will be added on top of the 600 AP you get. You're going to one-shot people in capped PvP. Let's fucking go. That sounds dope as fuck, actually. Doesn't that sound dope? Anyways, they're gonna have to probably redo the caps. Let's go back, boys. That's big for the game. That's a big change. I actually support it. Shaking things up. Once again, not what we asked for. Like, so Striker Succession, 1500 HP recovery when using skills. That reminds me of like Awakening Mystic, and it's disgusting. I'm sorry. That means while he's e-buffed, he has 60 more evasion, and he can punch the air like a retard and get 1500 HP every time he hits the air. There used to be this guy, dude. Bless his heart, dude. He used to always have these big old headphones, and he had a walkie-talkie with him. Lord knows who he was trying to talk to on that walkie-talkie, because I knew he was special. And he always had like, he would keep it on the side, and I think the walkie-talkie had a radio function. And he had boxing gloves on and no shirt. He never had a shirt on, even when it was freezing. I guess you know, I'm from Texas, so it's not exactly like it's fucking a blizzard. But he never had a shirt on, and he was just he was a special guy, if you know what I mean. Bless his heart. And so this guy would just always be boxing on the corner. You know what I mean? Like jabbing, like I don't know what he's dodging, bro, but he's about to. He's having and he was in good shape and he knew how to box. You could tell he knew it, but he wasn't all there, man. He was fighting his own battles, bro. And the Succession Striker is gonna be fighting its own battle and winning when it gets a full health bar. That's all I gotta say. That you made it. We could have one iteration, the highest value. That's exactly what they did. Yep, that's what we're talking about right now. That's under oath. But your buffs and passive AP buffs are also gonna work in capped PvP, as you'll see at the end of this when we go over it. But yeah, so Striker Succession up huge. Awakening actually gets what, 35 AP buff. So I mean you won't get multiple class buffs, correct? No, certain class buffs are shared with people. You can get like a wizard class buff shared with you, and you have your own class buff. Technically, that's multiple class buffs. You're not going to get other people's class buff, if that's what you're asking, unless it's already a thing. Wizards and Witch are considered support classes. Dosa class buff, for example, heals you for 2,500. The highest value you keep? Yes, exactly. The highest value you keep. Exactly. Like your 20 AP doesn't work when you get a 50 AP buff or 45 AP buff from your e-buff, but if you have a 5 magic AP buff, the magic AP stacks with the all AP. Now we cleared up how it works. We got the video. It's good. So Mystic, Ape, Striker, both kind of up tremendous in my opinion. They can just grab the air and it's okay. They in some cases even have multiple grabs. Wonderful. So, and think about an Awakened Berserker now. Missing your grab 3 times. We call that a super armor rotation around here. Let's go. Okay. Fucking stupid, dude. I'm so dumb. Okay. They're gonna reward that shit. I'm telling you. You can just sit there and grab the air 3 times in a row on an Awakened Berserker and it's fine. So looks like Archer's getting AP buff, AP buff. You get an AP buff. You get a DR buff. You get... Alright, the Shies actually get like a 38% buff across the board. They get a 2% special attack. It's very interesting that they still have a special attack. Who else? Also, look at this. They get attack speed instead of their buff. I just want to point out a couple things. Ninja is up tremendous. Where was Ninja? I think actually Ninja's e-buff. Look at this. Ignore resistance turns into back attack, down attack, a bunch of special attack damage. You would know, like, hey man, they're taking this out. But guess what, man? Let's go down to Guardian. They are removing our 10% critical hit damage passive. Let's go. And you know what else they're removing? Claw reveal on all Guardians. So guess what? You don't have a 5% buff at all times, and you don't have a 10% passive at all times. You're missing 15% critical hit damage. And because all classes need equal XP, you got 8 AP. Congratulations, you fucking scrubs. So an extra 5 in succession. What does this mean for Guardian? Well, I feel shafted. Them not even giving me anything for my passive after making all my other passives are useless. I'm gonna go play another class. Time to play Dosa until save your waiting room. Chat. W. I'll still try it after patch, but damn, you could tell they don't give a shit. You could tell they don't give a shit about Awakened Guardian. They haven't reworked it the past couple times. They've done nothing about it, and this is the only statement. Unless there's like multiple paragraphs in the next patch right before the patch drops. Next global right before the... it's doomed. And that's not gonna happen. More health here. Attack speed and evasion for Hashashin. Damn. When I think of a class that I can't hit that has 1400 evasion and gets up and one-shots everybody, my man Abaddon, I think, man, you know what he really needs? He needs 1460 evasion, so I have no chance of hitting him at all. He also needs 15% attack speed, so he can kill me faster. So, rats to suck hash. You'll notice a trend. That's not the only suck hash win we've got here. It's kind of bad. Oh, Nova, more AP. No ignore resist. Fuck Nova. But just kidding. Your guard will now give you more HP, which is kind of good. Oh, also, it doesn't say extra damage here for hash. Skill coefficient reduced by 5.8% due to increase in AP. Awakening. Where's Guardian? They did give Guardian 4.3% to make up for the fact that they took 15% critical hit damage. I don't know if that'll make up for it because, yeah, I don't know if that'll make up for it, but a girl can dream. I'm gonna try and stay positive. I said Sage. This seems big, boys. Giving Sage 50% critical hit chance on their E-buff instead of ignore resist. That seems okay. And then because that means they're gonna crit 100% of the time while E-buffed. And then they lost 5 DR, who cares? Corsair, 60 evasion on the E-buff. This is a sick E-buff. This is one of the best E-buffs in the game. And they equalized all the AP on all the buffs, but they still left Corsair with a 10 AP buff. I love you, Nuke. I had to bring it up. Congratulations on your 10 AP buff every time you E-buff. I know you love it. Your add-on gives you more damage. What a game. Okay. Yeah. I'm fucking done. 10 AP on an E-buff. Dude, everyone else is getting 45 now. Congrats on your 10 AP, nerd. Alright, critical hit. Look, Drac getting the Guardian treatment. You're lumped in with me, buddy. No damage for you. You get 8 AP. They're gonna buff you 5% across the board due to them losing 10% critical hit damage. This is a better trade. 10% critical hit damage for a 5% instead of 4%, 4.3% for 15% loss in critical hit damage. Tell me you love Drac more than Guardian more, or either, or without telling me more. You know what I mean? Like they just love Drac more than Guardian. It's a fact. It's you can tell what percentage they love it more by as well. You could probably calculate how much more they love it if you really did the math. But we're not going to do that here. I've got no time. No one's got time for that. Wagyu now has a magic AP buff. And see, this is why I'm feel shafted on Guardian. Because instead of, like, they got rid of this class's 10% critical hit damage buff and added a magic AP buff, which stacks with everything else. This is a perfectly reasonable exchange in my eyes. To keep damage the same, but get rid of the special attack damage like they wanted to do. This seems perfectly reasonable to, instead of doing these other loops, and honestly, like I said, a bunch of this shit seems like they just want to fucking do shit. And that some of it doesn't make any sense. Scholar got a little bit of AP, and then they increased some of the stuff due to the increased AP. What? Did they decrease it? Or they decreased the AP in Scholar? Interesting, interesting. But then they increased due to the decrease. Like, you see what I mean? Like, what? Why even do all this? They decreased your AP. The skills have been increased due to the decrease. Okay, Dosa, my sweet Dosa. I ignore resist right now. It's 10 out of 10. I'm gonna get the sweet 20 accuracy. You love it. And then the critical hit damage for succession is gonna be 5 AP. Interesting on succession. And Awakening's E-buff is gonna be 30 DP instead of ignore more resist. Okay. This is a range AP versus AP. I think they're gonna lose out on some AP the way it was possibly stacked, or maybe not. It depends. And actually, you know what? Deadeye doesn't have an AP buff skill, so yeah, they're gonna get 10 AP here. That's pretty good. And that's pretty much it. They lost 5% DR and their damage reduced because of the increase in AP. Once again, I don't want to even attempt to go into all this, but I'm just going to say something. For years, I thought the class balance team had a dartboard with every class in the game as it came out, and they just threw it, and wherever it landed, that's how much fucking damage you do. And this is, I've never felt so right in my life, because these kind of look like tanks. And then, but then you're like, wait a minute. Awakening Warriors over here with like Awakening Berserker, I guess I understand being different, right? But Awakening Warriors over here. What? He's not a tank, yeah, I guess. And like, so it's not, they explained it was gonna be archetype based. This is dartboard development. That's what we're gonna call this. So I refuse to go into it. Let's just look at the details. Basically the details are this. They're not explaining how much less damage you're gonna take, but I can explain it pretty easy. Instead of your previous modifier from each class, which was up to 120% in some cases, where you would take more damage from them no matter what. I'm a Guardian, boys. This is huge for Guardian, believe it or not. So that's why I have to try Guardian afterwards, okay? Guardians, DKs, classes like this, you just take a lot of damage. It's huge for classes like this. So if you're a glass cannon, pay attention. So you will be moved to the lowest number of all the other classes, coefficients, or whatever the right word, values. I mean, and they're all set at 89%, which is, and then the only thing that's gonna matter is 5%, depending on where you rock, paper, scissors, based on where the fuck you landed when they threw your dart onto this fucking dartboard. Like, I don't know why, like, why even have more RNG? Like, I don't know. Who cares at this point? At least it's only 5%, and like it's within the margin of error. Kick W. Like, you know what I'm saying? If 5% makes the difference between you losing the fight, whatever. There shouldn't be any more large discrepancies where the strikers are invulnerable when you outgear the fuck out of them. Hopefully. Jesus. They're still gonna kill us. I don't know why I even use that as an example, but you know what I mean. That's their idea between fixing these changes. So as we finish through, let's look at the this says the PvP ratio of each class change increased by 38% compared to the previous class damage ratio, which is applied as increased PvP damage in the shy by 38%. So this is an interesting, I think this is how much they're going to increase the base damage of each class. Did you take out Doggo? No, he was laying over here. No, he's in that room. Mad at me. I'm gonna take him out in just a moment. Don't worry, Nico. We're almost done. So notably, I got 10% on Guardian because I only care about me. I'm just kidding. No, notably, Hash, every time I think about Hash's damage and like where we're at right now, you know what I think? Let's up those numbers. Like, I haven't been one skilled by suck Hashes enough yet. Let's do it, baby. Holy shit. Hamers with the 23%. Berserker, 24% buff on their numbers. So we were like, oh no, they lost like something. I forget what they lost. They're getting a straight up 25% damage. They're not losing anything. They're probably going to be terrifying now. Okay. Interesting enough, Striker, which already got all the AP buffs and all that other stuff, also getting a flat 18% buff to damage. Pretty insane. Whereas like, yeah, same with Mystic. Dark Knight's only 2%. Yeah, you're gonna have to check this chart for yourself. And yeah, they're getting rid of all species damage in general for PvP. You're just gonna have something called adventurer damage or people damage, or whatever it's called. Adventure, or I don't know. Humans. No. This doesn't say anything about removing the species damage. They said they were gonna do it, but it's not here. They did change some items. Kudum is now got resistance on it, which helps in PvE. Elkar's got 30 accuracy because it doesn't have ignore all resistance, which might be of change. The Rosar set effect got changed, but who gives a shit about that? They changed the stats on this. I can't believe they only had down attack on the simple cron meal. Like, how many mobs do you actually knock down? None. They're changing that. That's so fucking dumb. Changing that to back attack and critical hit damage. Thank God. So basically, yeah. Interesting. So, basically they removed all the items that give you grapple, and they added a bunch of other stuff. Removed light stone effects. Interesting. And I deleted some guild skills, ship damage. Sweet, 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 sweet. I got one thing I want to go over, and then we're done, boys. And then I gotta take my doggo out, take a little break. We will say this is big for PvP. You only have to do the first Bartali's adventure log, and you'll get everything. And then after that, all the other stuff like the crows, the rubies, the old moon heralds, this stuff will give you additional stuff, which it's nice that we've done it all. We'll get a bunch of free shit. Like some gold here might be nice. And I saw some Valks. But you won't have to do all the adventure logs as a new player. That's so big. I still have a DP that I was missing. I'm gonna get it. See this AP 1 DP, it's no longer there. Now you get loot scrolls. You see what I mean? So like there's other reasons to do this stuff, but it's not required. It's not a requirement, which thank God, right? Thank freaking God. So that's really nice change. That changed PvP. Pitted Undying. 500 once a week instead of 100 every day. Technically a little nerf, but I think I might actually do it for 500 and I only have to do it once a week. So we might actually do that. Wait, I can just click on the stuff I need down here. Let's go to where we need and let's finish it up, boys. I said I'd get here. This is probably one of the biggest changes that they snuck in here. They haven't done anything that would affect Node Wars in quite some time. But capped feels weird. If you're a strong class with a strong ebuff, your ebuff might not feel so strong in capped PvP. Same thing with like the rest of your kit. It might just feel better in uncapped because stats mean less, right? But they're gonna fix this. This is gonna be big for PvP. We're gonna end it here. This is the last big change of the game, the content that's coming, and we'll end it here. So in order for each class to showcase its own unique characteristics, buff effects applied through skills, passives, and add-ons have been changed to be applied without being included in the stat cap limit. What? So your add-ons, your passives, your e-buff, all of this is going to affect how hard you hit in capped PvP. Take it in, boys. It's actually kind of huge. That's a huge difference. Now, the second line is just as huge. So when a character receives a debuff effect, the reduction value is applied to the excess stat value. This is a change that they're sneaking in that, like, instead of going minus 40 DP when you only have minus 40 DR when you only have 400 DR on the cap, for example, well, you're losing 10% of your tankiness and you're gonna die. A minus 40 DP buff immediately just kills you. This means that when you get the DP debuff, it's only going to apply. So right now you'll be able to buff yourself with a DP buff, and it's going to apply past the stat cap limit. But then if they want to get rid of that stat, the extra stats, they can then debuff it. That makes so much more sense. I mean, this actually makes so much more sense than what's currently going on. We got to give props where it's due. This is a good change. I look forward to that. I think certain classes are gonna go crazy in Node Wars and stuff, but it's okay. We like going crazy in Node Wars. 2-hour Node Wars, please. You said you were gonna do it. Please throw that in there. So, and then Conquest War, damage when hitting certain attachments and vehicles using old ballista bullets increased by 1.5 times. I literally got farmed by just 1 ballista today, so thank God they did this. Oh my God. So let's go into my overall thoughts. My overall thoughts, real quick on the way out. Everything is just changing. As I look at things in the outside perspective, as a Path of Exile 2 player, none of the Path of Exile 1 players like Path of Exile 2 because it's new and it's different, and they're complaining in their YouTube videos reminded me of my complaining in these YouTube videos. So maybe I've just played the game for 10 years. It's a different game and I should just look at it with a different perspective. And that's kind of what this video is about. The content has changed. We should change our expectations and still try to enjoy it while we can. So overall, I'm trying to be positive. I don't think that I think the lack of class balance, like, it doesn't look like they're thinking about class balance at all. And that's pretty bad, because they just seem to be doing things like buffing Striker and Hash. But like overall, they're trying and they're actually doing something for PvP. So that's big. And this is a huge W. But I hope they don't mess it up. Things are changing. This is what I expect. I fully expect Idana to come out. It's gonna suck. Every expansion sucks since Valencia. Dregan was a massive disappointment. Chad, if they never even released Dregan, nobody would care. Think about it. You just wouldn't even have to get a Garmoth heart. You'd be up huge. Dregan was a mistake. Hashtag Dregan was a mistake. So like, when they reset everything after Idana, it gives them a brand new opportunity to go kill something. Basically, in the reset world, they can reset karma values, right? They can make it more like the original game where you can flag on people in your spot. And then they can also make it to where when I kill somebody and I get a drop, it needs value. Currently, the only thing that's worth a value is called a Debereshka. And the Debereshkas killed the game. Everything else I get is of entire insignificance. And I'm running on a treadmill of hope and hopium. And honestly, I'm not on the right medication to keep running that treadmill. So I hope they don't mess it up. I'm so scared that they mess this up and then it's GG. But that's gonna be it for my video. If you made it this far, God knows how long this is, please drop a comment and all that stuff. Drop a like, share the video, let people know. I'm kind of speechless. I don't know what to say other than like I hope they don't mess it up. Thank you for hanging out, for listening to my cheesy YouTube video music this whole time, and above all, let's go fight on Arsha. Meet me on Twitch. TV/Vessel_Vision and let's go fight. Let's play the game while it still exists, because let's be real, it's a 10-year-old game and it's the best MMORPG we have, and the second a really good one comes out, we might not be playing this one anymore if they mess this up. Please don't mess this up. I love you, PA. Please don't mess this up. Please don't mess this up. Please don't mess this up. Thank you so much, everybody, and well,